This feature is taking AI agents and supercharging your business processes by bringing AI agents in as specific steps of your playbook. The cool thing that we're showcasing as part of this feature is we now have this awesome step where we're going to inject an AI agent into this process. So let me just show how someone would add a new one of these to their process. You can see here in our activity picker that we have a new category called AI activities, and we have a use an AI agent activity definition. Now, when I choose this, let's pretend I did that and I added this step to my playbook. What I have to do to get this ready for prime time is pick the AI agent that I'm going to use. So this simply unlocks the power of AI agents within a business process. So what's going to happen here as we kick off our complaint playbook, there will be a few steps that a human may complete. And then there will be a specific step in our research stage where an AI agent is going to take over. It's going to complete its work and help us accelerate case resolution in a complaint scenario. So we've already pre-filled our reference to the complaint case research plan agent. We can give the agent an objective. In this case, we are pointing to the complaint case record itself. So we want the AI agent to look at information on the complaint case record. This agent has been configured with its set of instructions. So it knows what it's going to do when it looks at this complaint case in runtime. We also have a couple more configuration things that I want to show, and then we'll talk about the runtime experience. So we offer the ability to select the run as strategy. The AI agent needs to run on behalf of a specific user. And so you have a couple of options. You can choose the active user, whoever is currently viewing the playbook, interacting with the playbook in runtime. And then the other option is you can run as the user triggering the playbook. So this allows the AI agent to act on behalf of a couple of different personas, and whatever is right for your use case, you'll be able to choose that. The second thing that I want to call out is outputs. So within workflow automation, we rely heavily on outputs to support dynamic process execution. So as one step completes, that step can provide outputs. And then those outputs can be referenced in subsequent steps of the playbook. So if you want to, for example, have an AI agent draft an email for you and provide the email draft as an output, you could then supply that output as an input to an email activity where a human's going to essentially fine tune and finalize the AI agent's draft email before they send it to the customer. So here you are able to provide the expected outputs that the AI agent should render as part of its work inside this playbook. Here's my playbook. We have started this by completing a couple of the manual steps. So these are forms. We're essentially defining what the nature of this complaint is. We've got a product quality issue. And so there are a couple steps that the case manager will complete. And now it's time for the AI agent to take over. Now, this is a helper agent. So what that means is it is going to work with human supervision. So you saw there that we had to click the start button, but worker agents are also available and they will operate autonomously. So what we're seeing here is now the AI agent's doing its work, and it's actually showing us its progress within the activity itself. So I don't have to launch the Now Assist panel. I don't have to launch any other in-product experiences. We're actually capturing the in-product AI experience within the activity card itself, and then we're going to wait for the next step. So you can see here that this helper agent asks, are you ready for us to update the work notes? So as part of this AI agent's work, it is going to write something to the work notes of the case. It is asking if the human is authorizing the AI agent to proceed. The beauty of using an AI agent is they can surface dynamic experiences within the activity card itself. So if it needs the human to answer questions like a yes, no, it will surface these dynamic UIs with no additional configuration for the playbook author when they're designing this step. It has done some research. It has looked at other cases. It has identified tasks that have been generated and worked and completed in order to resolve similar cases. And it has suggested that there are a list of tasks that it may need to complete in order to resolve this case. And the human, once again, is given the option to move forward with these, or you can see there I have some freedom to dismiss any of the recommended tasks. And that's it. So you can see here that the AI agent has not only done some research on behalf of the human, it has proposed case tasks and then has asked the human for feedback as far as whether we move forward with these case tasks or not. So I want to pause the demo there. Why is this important? Why does this matter? So agents are able to do things that take away some of the burden of the human agent. So you can have an AI agent do research or review large volumes of information in a short amount of time, whereas if a human had to do this previously, this could take hours. Potentially I could be going through complaint cases for hours to determine what my set of tasks should be. AI agents can do this work for me in a couple of moments, and then I can focus on the really important things like interfacing with my client, ensuring that their needs are being met, that they're being heard, focusing on the human interaction as opposed to some of the more menial tasks like research.